can you describe what each of your roles are with the city?
Well, I'm the mayor of Coquitlam, and Mr. Steblin is our city manager.
And how would you describe your role?
Well, from the city manager heads up the staff structure, and from the staff structure, we are there to serve the council, of which the mayor heads. So we're a partnership, and both sides of the equation working together serves the citizens of Coquitlam.
So, because I'm very interested in how the two work. So, if you were a hockey team and you're two players on a hockey team or something, like what would be the difference of your roles?
Well, we're not a hockey team. Let's just be very clear that that the council is the decision-making body for the community. The staff are there to give advice to the council and to carry out the decisions of council.
So effectively how it works is staff have to implement policy. Council sets the policy. Council makes decisions about where a park goes, what we'll be building, what kind of facility we need. Sets decisions about the levels of service we will have and therefore the cost of those services, and that's the budget. The staff then take our decisions and they have to implement them. They're the full-time workers that go out and the muscle that gets the job done. The muscle that gets the job. In many cases, the brains. Our director of finance, for example, is really in charge of making sure the city's operation is financially sound, and we rely on her as a council. We rely on her and her team to make sure that that aspect of our operation is beyond reproach, and it's an important partnership between staff and city council.
And if I could just add to that, we give advice on a wide variety of topics. As you could see from tonight, there are many different viewpoints in the community, and sometimes those viewpoints are conflicting with each other, and sometimes they don't always jive together and work together to the same end. And so the staff try to give objective advice on each collective issues, but usually it comes down to a value judgment of how important the various factors are that affect the various decisions. And the council is the role of the council is to make the decisions as to which values are more important, whether or not fiscal conservatism is more important than providing extra services, whether or not police services are more important than garbage collection, all those kind of things. There's no formula that gives you the answer to how all those services come together. It's a value judgment, and the council reflects the community's values because they are accountable to the community because they go up for election every 3 years. And so they are the body that makes those value judgments.
And in the same way, then council has to count on the information and the background and the implementation that staff provide. Staff is made up of our firefighters, it's made up of our police services, the city engineers, the building inspectors, the parks and recreation, the lifeguards, the financial services, the legal team that keeps us out of trouble, planners that help design our community. All of these folks work together so that the toilet flushes, so that the water is clean when it gets to your home, so the garbage gets picked up, so that when you go to the pool, it's a clean environment. And these are all decisions that council makes and then that staff implements.
I can never remember the quote, but Obama had this way of describing bureaucracy is the equivalent of the mind, while politics is the art of the heart, and that's as far as I've come.
Well, that's a pretty good quote. That's a pretty good quote. I think you remembered it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty close to reality. In reality, we on council have to make decisions based on the vast community, all of the input from the community. Tonight we heard from people who wanted more tennis courts and more facilities and better garbage pickup and lower taxes and better police services. And we have to balance all of those decisions because we can't do them all. We obviously can't increase all of our services and lower our taxes. So our challenge is to filter through that information and try to figure out what decisions to make to move the city forward. The staff's job really is to intellectualize a lot of the decision-making capacity of City Hall, is to make sure that we have the information, that information is assembled and put in a position that we can use it most efficiently. Context. And the public, context, and the public can make it more available. I've been really proud of the way that our city council has pushed forward with trying to open up more and more some of the decisions of city council and city hall to put more information on the internet, to web stream our city council meetings and our public hearings on the internet so that the public can get engaged a little bit more in the decisions we have to make. And it's evenings like this that allow the public to give us input and to ask questions of staff to find out the information. But then the tough part comes. We get more information from staff, and council has to make the tough decisions with input from staff, and staff have to implement those decisions in order, all for the good of the residents.
There was, let me go a little bit more detail. There was an interesting gal that was filming, and her battery died earlier. So anyway, we got talking to the side, and she's one of the communications gals.
Yes.
I guess for you.
Jody.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
So she's going to get your tape later?
yeah, you know that, eh?
Oh, good. I didn't know that. I was just guessing.
No, it's true because she's going to use their tape and she's going to get the transcripts out of it. And so I was actually really inspired because all of a sudden we were finding a really tangible use for like what we can do for the city. And I'm wondering, is the city as a whole interested in their departments in engaging externally in such a way and making use of such resources as this?
Well, I was fascinated.
And I don't know what that looks like for each department.
I was fascinated with the possibility. For example, we have spent a certain amount of city resources to make sure that our decision making, our public meetings are on the internet, are streamed, are available to the public.
Oh yeah, and so we were saying, yeah, we can take that and we just put that to air on Monday nights now.
Okay, and so is it possible then that the city could partner with you and allow that video is also the one that we implement on the internet for our use? Because I'd love to have every one of the comments that were here tonight, or at least select comments, a random selection, if you will, of some of the comments that the public had. Because by engaging the public, we can get better. We can do better. We can governance. Democracy.
Get some clarity to all that confusion of the sorting.
Exactly. Well, democracy, and Obama has said the same thing. Democracy really needs an engaged citizen, and if the citizen isn't engaged in democracy, then it's hard to be a democracy.
And we do have some